Guess what? We can rent jet skis.
Wow, awesome.
It's going to be an exciting summer for the Lunny family. 41-year-old Tina wants the best of everything.
Cool.
She was planning this big trip, grand trip, with a lot of other people from town. Gonna rent this large, beautiful home.
Look at the place we can stay in.
Tina loves to keep up with the Joneses, whatever the cost.
It was expensive. She always wanted her children to have what they wanted and the best. So she spent on her kids.
How much is all this costing?
We're sharing the cost between a bunch of families, Mama.
For 81-year-old widowed mom, Marie Zoppi, it seems very extravagant.
Okay, kids, bedtime.
Okay. Night.
It's my bedtime, too. Good night.
Good night, Marie.
Night, Mama.
When they bought this home, it was set up so that she had her own place in the basement.
Tina had a good relationship with her and they shared a lot, but she also had a live-in babysitter. For a professional working woman, that's a good deal.
You sure we can afford this?
Yes, we need a holiday.
Tina works as an accountant, so her husband, Chris, entrusts her with the family finances.
Look what's in the ensuite.
He thought he had the perfect life.
Living in New Jersey, Tina mixes with a very well-to-do social set.
Beautiful homes, swimming pools, one of the better school systems in the state. It's the kind of place you'd want to live in.
Those were the people that she hung out with.
Garment number 3 in my holiday range. You look gorgeous, Tina.
They had parties, they did vacation.
Does Chris know about this?
I've got one more. I'll go and get changed.
And she was right there with them.
Garment number 4 in my holiday range. Anyone for a game?
Tina Lunny was obsessed with two things: keeping up with the Joneses and finding the money to do it.
The Lunny's dual income helps fund their lifestyle, but only up to a point.
She would charge it and continue to charge and charge.
I'm glad you're so cashed up, because we've got to pay the balance of the holiday house.
No problem. I'll just grab my checkbook.
Tina is spending money she doesn't have.
Tina was an accountant by profession, but she couldn't manage her own checkbook.
Tina had a number of credit cards that were all maxed to the limit.
It was financial disarray. There was rarely a positive bank balance.
Sometimes she gets so far behind, the power is cut.
Tina! Tina, what's happening?
Rather than pay the electric bill, she'd rather spend the money on something fun.
You okay, Mama?
That was her value system.
What's happening? Is it a blackout?
I missed the payment.
Why didn't you pay it?
I'm out of money, Mama.
There is one source of funds Tina can count on in an emergency.
My checkbook's over there.
Tina's mom received a pension from her deceased retired police officer husband.
How much?
$1,000. Can you loan me a little more?
Tina took money frequently from her mom.
This can't go on.
No, of course not. Thank you, Mama.
But in the summer of 1999, a big deposit is due on a fancy holiday house she's promised her friends.
It's very quiet in here.
She was basically mortified for anyone to find out that somehow she wasn't able to make her payment.
Tina, I got a call from the realtor.
Everything okay?
Well, no. Your check. It bounced.
What? There must be a mistake. I knew it.
Her place in that social circle is being put in jeopardy because at some level, she felt like maybe they would think she didn't belong just because she couldn't pay for this trip.
There's plenty of money in the account. I'm sure it was a problem with the bank.
They would have all found out Tina was not about to let that happen.
Tina needs money, fast.
How'd you sleep, Mama?
Not so good. My neck is really itchy.
That's not good.
This was it. She was under a deadline.
The realtor is waiting for this money. I mean, it is minute by minute, tick, tick, tick.
Maybe you just need to have a good rest today. Watch a little bit of television.
Okay.
Rest up.
The wolves were out the door.
Tina is about to show how much this holiday means to her.
Whoa, so cool.
Tina Lunny is battling two emotions. She is excited about the luxury holiday she's booked, but she can't pay for it. And the bank of Mom is closed. On July 22nd, 1999, Tina desperately needs another source of money and makes a decision.
If she wasn't going to get what she was asking for, this is what it was going to come down to.
See ya.
Tina's desire to spend excessively and put out an image that was really not true was stronger than her desire to be a good daughter.
I thought you went to work.
I had to come back for my phone. Is your rash bothering you?
Oh, that feels really good.
Tina took a necktie that was her husband's, and she actually used that to strangle her own mother, which is really what made it so graphic and so personal.
Marie was grasping and trying to stop it.
At one point, she realizes what she's doing and says, "Oh my God," and lets go for a moment. And lets her mother gasp for air. But despite that, then decides to again tighten that tie. Probably the most gruesome and graphic way anyone could be killed.
She knew she was gonna die at the hands of her own only daughter.
Moments after Marie Zoppi draws her last breath, her daughter goes for the money.
After the murder, Tina immediately proceeded to make payments right away on all sorts of accounts where she was delinquent.
High on her list is the deposit on the vacation home.
So her friends would never know.
To actually do all of these payments, knowing that her mother is dead, just shows how calculated she was.
For 24 hours, Tina leaves her mother's corpse in the basement.
Everything is just the way it normally is in her life. Nothing is out of the ordinary for her.
She wasn't a mess. She wasn't, oh my God, I killed my mother.
But sometime soon, Tina will have to explain her dead mother.
So the next day, Tina does actually go into the basement and attempt to stage what looks like a suicide scene. She attempted to write this note, basically showing that her mother was in a depressed state of mind, that she was tired of being some kind of burden on everyone.
She probably thought that they'll think my mom killed herself, and the family will never know.
She takes the tie and moves it around on the face, making it look as if somehow she had done this to herself.
The stage is set.
Come home!
Tina is in
Come home!
complete hysterics. I mean, the Academy Award goes to Tina.
Chris comes home.
I think she killed herself.
Did you call 911?
And Chris is the person who actually calls 911.
It's my mother-in-law. I think she's dead.
Now she had to pretend to the paramedics and the police department that she was not a murderer.
But Tina hasn't thought this through.
Odd-looking suicide.
It's almost impossible to strangle yourself with your own hands.
It was clear as day that they knew that it's called a suspicious death.
You should eat.
I can't.
Despite all her efforts,
I'm gonna get some smokes.
there will be no family holiday. Instead, Tina goes missing for 3 days. Until she turns up at a police station. Her conscience has returned.
Before her butt hit the seat, she said, "Do you want me to tell you what happened to my mother?" And everyone's jaw just dropped. And then she provided the confession.
It was as if she was talking about something someone else did, or that she'd strangled the life out of a teddy bear and not her own mother.
She never cried, not one tear during the entire statement, not one tear.
In May 2013, Tina Lunny is found guilty of first-degree murder. She is sentenced to 40 years in prison.
The irony of the sentence is that when Tina gets out, she'll be her mother's age at the time of her death.
It is a crime that still baffles many. Tina has no history of violence, no mental illness, and lived in a happy family. The only explanation, social status, is more important than her mother's life.
If Tina had realized that she had a spending addiction and sought help for that, there's an excellent chance none of this would have happened.
It doesn't get worse than killing your mom.
Next, on a remote Missouri farm, in the dead of night, a tragic shooting.
He'd been shot in the face, and he hit the floor, dead.
Novinger, Missouri, March 23rd, 2006. The body of 43-year-old Melvin Greisbauer is found by his wife Elaine and family friend Catherine Mock.
Catherine Mock calls in 911, saying that they thought maybe he committed suicide. He'd been in the military. I think there was some claims of PTSD.
Military man Melvin recently returned home from a stressful year of duty in the Middle East.
Suicide. It was becoming too commonplace with Iraqi vets.
He had made, suicidal thoughts in the past.
But it is one of the strangest suicides investigators have ever seen.
Right off the bat and this is kind of weird, but his body fell like he was on a crucifix. His arms were wide open, and he was just, looking up at the sky.
The strangest thing of all is his gun.
Final clue was it was loaded and ready to go again.
Last time I checked, a dead person would be very unable to reload or cock a weapon.
The police find gloves and a mask hidden near the barn.
The crime lab examined the mask real quick. They found saliva on it, and we were able to get DNA off it.
The DNA belongs to family friend, Catherine Mock. She is charged with first-degree murder.
She went silent and was silent for a long time.
2.5 years earlier, 49-year-old Elaine and Melvin are happy newlyweds.
Let me.
After 3 divorces, Elaine thinks she's finally found Mr. Right, and he loves life on her farm.
She owned a big farm that had been in the family for generations.
I can't believe you're going away so soon.
But no sooner do they tie the knot than duty calls.
We haven't even had a real honeymoon.
There'll be plenty of time for it when I get back. I promise.
Elaine is worried.
Yeah, but what happens if you get hurt or killed?
But Melvin is prepared for the worst.
Melvin wanted to make sure that if he was killed in Iraq, that there would be enough life insurance to take care of Elaine.
Besides, if anything should happen, the Army will look after you.
He had a $600,000 life insurance policy on him.
While Melvin is serving his country, he entrusts Elaine to take care of his beloved dogs.
You look after them while I'm gone?
Yeah, like they're our children.
He was a dog breeder, and that's how they met.
While Melvin is away, Elaine befriends fellow breeder, Catherine Mock.
They're so beautiful. That one has perfect shape. I'm sure he'll make a show dog.
Catherine kind of even held Elaine on a pedestal, really.
I was hoping you'd help me sell some.
I'd love to.
Catherine looked up to her, because here was a woman who had this big farm and bred dogs and looked like a success.
But looks can be deceiving.
Hey, stranger.
Elaine is no businesswoman.
But they were struggling, you know, kind of paycheck to paycheck.
I missed you.
By the time Melvin comes home, the couple is almost bankrupt. To save her farm, Elaine needs to refinance, and she wants Melvin to add his name to her loan application.
Banks are much more likely to give a mortgage to a couple than to one person. Elaine knew that.
I'll be honest. I'm not happy about this.
Melvin's not so sure.
But it's the only way I can save my farm.
That's my point. It's your farm. My debt.
Melvin was not happy with signing this paperwork because it was putting him on the farm, it was putting him on a debt on a farm that he didn't own.
Everything I have is yours.
There's more than financial strain on this marriage. When Catherine comes to stay for a weekend,
Catherine,
Elaine reveals a terrible secret.
can I confide in you?
Of course.
She told her that her husband abused her.
Since he's got back, he's been beating me.
Oh, Elaine.
Melvin treated me badly. He hurt me. Catherine, she was very angry that Melvin would abuse her physically.
Elaine feels trapped, but fears a divorce will cost her everything.
He'll take the farm away from me, and it's been in my family for generations and generations.
Will you help me?
The claims of abuse are a lie.
Anything for you.
But naive Catherine believes Elaine and is ready to help.
She said yes, because she saw Elaine as a victim. Of course she'd help her.
For Elaine, Catherine was weak and pliable. and she really liked that.
In Novinger, Missouri, on March 23, 2006, Melvin Greisbauer and his wife, Elaine Young, have a house guest, 52-year-old Catherine Mock.
I'll head out and leave you two to it.
Every night after dinner, Melvin makes his round trip of the farm.
Melvin went out to the first barn to check on his dogs, make sure they were okay.
Tonight, the two women plan to join him.
Melvin was a marked man.
Elaine insists Catherine dons a mask and gloves.
Elaine just kind of had control over her.
It took Elaine approximately a year to manipulate Catherine into the position where she wanted her.
When Melvin approaches the horse barn, the women are shadows in the dark.
They just hid in that horse barn because Elaine knew that when he came out to get to the horses, he would be standing right there in front of that door. And that's when he was shot.
Suddenly, everything ended for him. There was probably nothing more than a flash of pain before his body tumbled to the ground. He didn't know what hit him.
But it's not Catherine who pulls the trigger. It's Elaine.
The moment he married Elaine, that was the day he signed his own death warrant.
And Melvin's not the only one in Elaine's sights.
What have we done?
Hold it together, Catherine.
She told Catherine, listen, I got what you need to keep you from going to jail.
Now, you need to take all of these. You understand?
She hands her 100 hydrocodone pills.
They'll calm you down.
Overdosing on that drug only takes 18, and she gave her 100 and told her to take them right away.
Catherine is being set up for a murder-suicide.
She was trying to make her accidentally kill herself. She was getting rid of the last living witness.
Miraculously, Catherine survives the overdose. But she keeps her mouth shut.
Catherine was very intimidated. I think that she felt that Elaine had this power over her, or that if she spoke on Elaine, that something could possibly happen to her.
When police charge Catherine with murder, they have no idea what's really happened. And she's still not talking. As the investigation continues, the evidence is mounting. Not against Catherine, but against Melvin's grieving widow.
There were two $200,000 policies on his life, adding up to about $1.1 million upon his death.
It's Elaine, not her friend, who stands to benefit from Melvin's death.
I wish she was dead.
And then a farmhand comes forward with an explosive allegation.
She told her hand on the farm, listen, I'll make a deal with you. You kill my husband, I'll give you $10,000 and I'll kill your wife. And it'll look like an accident. No one will ever know.
Some close to Elaine suspect she is capable of murder.
Hi, Mom.
Mom died kind of suspiciously.
Elaine may have killed her own mother.
What have you got there then?
Oh, just a form.
What form?
The farm, so it's passed on to me.
Well, what about your brother and your sister? You can't.
No, I deserve it.
When her elderly mother was in the hospital,
Mom,
Elaine visits her.
sign it.
She insisted her mom change her will.
This nurse had wrote that Elaine's mother, when Elaine left, said,
I just signed my death warrant.
Within months, her mother is dead.
That tells me Elaine coerced her mother into doing that, and her mother knew she was probably going to die.
It becomes clear to police Melvin's murder isn't all Catherine's work. Finally, after 2 years behind bars, she turns on Elaine.
What I really take from this investigation is the power that people can have over others. Sometimes it's just scary.
In 2012, both women are found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder for hire. Elaine's patsy, Catherine Mock, receives 2 concurrent life sentences.
People say she didn't have a mean bone in her body, but whatever it was, Elaine had that control over her that could control her and manipulate her to do something like that. It's kind of crazy, really.
Elaine Young also receives 2 life sentences.
Elaine thought she was smarter and more cunning than anyone else. But Elaine is spending the rest of her life in prison. Prison is full of smart and cunning psychopaths.
When your boyfriend lives across the country, a relationship is hard.
Hello.
How's my girl?
Missing you.
I miss you too. But I'll be there next week.
I'll be waiting.
But 33-year-old Nicola Franklin is sure she's found the one.
I love you too.
36-year-old truck driver Billy Brewster.
Billy and Nicola met in California when he was driving his truck there for work.
Girl, what am I supposed to do till next week?
You are gonna have to wait.
They live miles apart. She is in California, Billy in Pennsylvania. So Nicola makes the big move.
Nicola left California, where she had grew up her whole life, and moved to Whitehall, Pennsylvania. She left her extended family, left her mother. So it was a big move for her.
Girl, it ain't cold. What you talking about? Come on.
It is if you're a California girl.
And it's a big change for their children.
Yes!
Do it again. Nicola had a child from a previous relationship, and Billy had a child from a previous relationship.
They seem to get along.
Oh, we're so blessed.
Her son, his son, and they all lived under one roof.
The families blend perfectly.
It looked like a very good match. Billy was ready to adopt Nicola's boy. He wanted them to be a complete, nice family together. The future looked very positive.
Their family is complete when they have a baby of their own.
He's gonna be a football player.
BJ, the linebacker.
Everybody thought Billy and Nicola had a great relationship. They seemed to be happy.
There's just one little problem.
He would come home from work, he would consume alcohol to a point that would make him angry and disrespectful to her.
And I walked up to him and man, why are you living on my truck? What's wrong with you?
You've had enough.
Oh, give me a break.
Nicola said that their relationship was good, and the only time that they had troubles was when Billy drank too much.
If you don't stop drinking, I'm gonna leave you.
Nicola puts her foot down.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
Billy has to decide between his drinking and his future.
He had scaled back his drinking, and they were doing well. He was willing to do what needed to be done to support a family.
Just one thing missing.
Now all they need is a wedding.
Will you be my wife?
It's the day Nicola's been waiting for. But Billy doesn't want to spend too much money.
She wanted everything to be perfect, of course, and she was working on a very, very small budget.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. You gotta get it.
I can't afford that. I've only got $500 for the home wedding.
The home wedding?
Nicola said that Billy had given her a budget of $500. She would have to pay for her wedding dress. She would have to pay for the children's clothes. She would have to purchase food and make other arrangements for the wedding. It's a lot to do with $500.
No! That goes over there. And the table back against the wall.
The wedding and reception will be in their own modest apartment.
Right against the wall!
Nicola does all the preparations herself, while truck driver Billy's on the road.
Nicola was fretting about everything, about sandwiches not being right, and her hair not being right, and her dress not being right.
Every bride is under pressure before her wedding.
What else do you want us to do?
Move those chairs.
But Nicola is feeling it more than most.
There was something that made Nicola crack.
Instead of wedding bells ringing, police sirens were heard.
Whitehall, Pennsylvania. In the days leading up to her wedding in August 2012, Nicola Franklin is feeling the pressure.
Nicola wasn't in the best state of mind and physical condition leading up to the wedding. She had not slept much in 4 days.
She was a walking time bomb from sleep deprivation.
Her fiancé, Billy, is away, and she's doing everything for their low-budget wedding.
Billy was on the road right prior to the wedding. Didn't get home till like the night before.
It was 16 hours straight, I'm telling you.
When he does, he arrives with his cousins. They're in the mood to party.
You gonna finish on time?
Don't you start. I've had to do this all by myself.
Just put your bag in that room there. And go grab something to eat.
While the last-minute wedding preparations were going on in this small little house, there was Billy, Nicola, 3 children, and suddenly...
We just gonna get some food. We'll be back.
Billy's cousins, and they're staying in the house. So the house was really overcrowded.
Nicola is getting her hair and makeup done, and there's a lot more to do for the morning ceremony.
It probably would have been a better move on Billy's part to stay at home and help her.
But Billy wants to celebrate.
I want the curls to be tighter.
They stopped at a strip club for a while, and they were out drinking and carrying on and just having sort of an impromptu bachelor party.
Previously, he had been a heavy drinker and that he had scaled back his drinking. Some of the behavior that he had exhibited in the past resumed that night.
That's the
Nicola's been left alone, preparing for the wedding.
When Billy finally returns home, it's to a frosty welcome.
You guys eating yet?
No, not yet.
Nicole, they gotta eat.
Go get him something. I can't do everything by myself.
Billy and his cousins come home and everybody's too drunk to drive, but Billy wants food.
Well, you're gonna have to drive me.
That leaves Nicola. She was already fatigued, resentful, and angry. Now she was furious.
Have you got money?
No, what happened to the money I gave you?
Are you kidding me?
An argument ensued between the two of them.
You're drunk!
I'm not drunk!
Nicola thinks Billy is about to ruin the best day of her life.
Billy, who in Nicola's eyes was drunk, grabbed her face. Her eyelash fell off that she had gotten done when she had her makeup done.
To make matters worse, Billy, who's very intoxicated, wakes up their 1-year-old baby.
That's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Nicola calls 911.
My boyfriend just beat me up. He's been drinking.
I'm not drunk!
It's like the perfect storm.
I'm gonna kill him!
Nicola could have walked away from Billy when he was being difficult and calling her names.
I'll whip your ass!
Are you out of your mind?
She could have gone into the bedroom, closed the door, and that would be that. She chose not to.
You are overreacting.
Nicola lost it.
What you gonna do with that?
Billy tries to calm his wife-to-be.
He had his palms up and he was saying, is this really what you want to do?
You wanna die tonight?
Say what?
I said you're gonna die tonight.
Oh.
You're gonna die!
Well, still on the 911 call, Nicola says to Billy, do you want to die tonight? Do you want to effing die tonight?
You're gonna die! Do you hear me?
Are you out of your mind?
She ceased being the loving bride-to-be of Billy.
Put the knife down.
Better get out of my way or I'll stab you too.
Put the knife down.
And suddenly, she was this shrew-like avenging spirit.
Are you out of your mind?
Lashing out at him.
Billy's cousin disarms Nicola.
One of the knife wounds went straight through his heart.
Oh my God. Oh. Nikki, call 911. Call 911.
Help arrives too late. Billy bleeds to death. Nicola is arrested on her wedding day.
When Whitehall police told her that Billy had died, she became hysterical. She started screaming and crying and saying that she would still marry Billy.
The next morning, instead of a ceremony, guests arrive to a crime scene. And Nicola is behind bars.
I've never heard of a situation where the groom spent the night in the morgue while the bride spent the night in jail.
It's a crime no one can understand. A loving relationship destroyed. All because of the pressure of a wedding.
I guess Nicola was the ultimate bridezilla.
The court has no sympathy for Nicola's frustration. In 2013, she is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison.
The prosecutor said, you have a bad day, you go home and you regroup. You don't have a bad day and kill someone to make yourself feel better.
For most women, their wedding is one of the happiest days of their lives. But Nicola leaves 2 orphans and 2 devastated families who had every reason to think it would be a perfect union.
There's no criminal history of Nicola being involved in violence. However, now Billy's dead and she's in prison.